Before we get into this video any further, right after we recorded the initial video, Rooster Teeth issued a statement on the situation, and we're going to read that, and then we'll get into the original video. Of course, this is about their employees, or one of their employees, coming out and saying that it was awful, that she had an awful working experience at Rooster Teeth. And there are a lot of people that have had awful experiences at Rooster Teeth, but they're making yet another statement. This is like every other month they got to issue a statement. So here we go, and then we'll get you into the other video. As an almost 20-year-old company that started in the earliest days of online video and grew rapidly alongside the rise of internet culture, we have faced inevitable mistakes and interpersonal challenges. 2020 was a year of broad societal change
that brought past conduct to our attention, but most of the claims were made in 2013 to 2019.
Yeah. Many individuals at Rooster Teeth acknowledge personal responsibility for their actions, both internally and externally. We as a company took that moment to seize the opportunity to respond and improve.
Apparently they didn't improve too much.
Over the past 2 years, we've spoken about challenges with the community, pledged to do things better, hide those flings better, I guess, and implemented internal actions to advance structural improvement. Specifically, we began by bringing in new leadership to drive this internal work. You can jump in whenever you want to. This is a long-ass thing. This led to engaging a DEI consultant, a management firm specializing in cultural growth and workplace change, outside HR support, and external management training consultants. In addition, we engaged an outside compensation tool. What?
But a lot of these things, this is 2020. A lot of the problems happened before 2020.
Yeah.
What about what happened before that?
We're just going to sweep that under the rug. Freudian slip under the rug. We're going to slip it under the rug. Anyway, to review our pay bands and complete our initial pay parity review in 2021, as our organization continues to evolve, this will be an ongoing exercise in rubbing and continual effort. We're going to rub one out at Rooster Teeth. Our dedication to change has included the valuable input of many team members across the company, Kdin being one, and we're grateful for their collaboration.
But then why didn't you pay them?
Why didn't you pay them? We have held ourselves accountable.
Well, she doesn't seem to think so.
Yeah, considering Kdin just came out like, yesterday, day before, with a bunch of allegations and stuff. Yeah, it doesn't sound like things are any better. Really doesn't. This is Rooster Teeth's way of sparing themselves the axe they think. They're hoping that Daddy Zaslav won't look their way, that the Eye of Sauron's not going to look their way, but I think it's going to. It's like, you guys are a pain in the ass and you're not making money. Mostly you're not making money. We can deal with a pain in the ass. We've got Ezra Miller, for God's sake.
Yeah, we'll gladly cover for Ezra.
We'll cover for Ezra, but you're not making any money, guys. They've committed to establishing the Rooster Teeth Way, a comprehensive and aspirational set of values. This is beyond parody. Aspirational set of values and behaviors anchored by our purpose and vision, carefully crafted with the input of the entire company.
But when I think of the Rooster Teeth Way, this is not what I'm thinking. Their way has always been more of a cockbite way, not a Rooster Teeth way.
These values are reinforced by workshops and management training, employee business resource groups, increased channels for feedback, direct and anonymous, and immediate action where warranted. Leadership, management, and personnel across the company have evolved over the past 2 decades to build what we believe is a safe, secure, and inclusive workspace.
As of yesterday.
We are disheartened to hear of anyone who has experienced pain resulting from prior experiences.
According to Kdin, it's been expressed to them multiple times that there have been issues.
Oh my God.
We apologize for those.
Because we got caught. This is the
basically.
This is the Rooster Teeth way. We're sorry we got caught. Mm-hmm. That is everything. We're sorry we got caught screwing over our animators. We're sorry we got caught screwing over other employees. We're sorry we got caught
promising moving expenses and not giving it,
right,
et cetera, et cetera.
We're sorry we got our employees got caught hooking up with groupies. Yeah,
allegedly.
We're just sorry we got caught. New leadership.
Rooster Teeth, we're sorry.
We're sorry.
There you go.
God, new leadership has worked to address and investigate past conduct, acknowledging that mediation is complex and doesn't guarantee a perfect solution.
Oh, this goes on?
Holy shit. We're committed to hearing every side of each dispute and operating within our authority to upload the company's values and behaviors.
Okay, well, we can't understand you. Many employees who have voiced past grievances choose to continue working with us. Acknowledging employee turnover, we are not immune to the disruptive forces that affect every business and workplace today. Like many other companies, we are experiencing people leaving to pursue different career paths and opportunities.
Yes, they're all jumping ship or they're getting pushed out. One of the two.
And external economic pressures have impacted some of our business units. As a result, we've had to make this tough decisions to reduce a handful of roles in select departments to adjust to marketplace realities. But it sounds like you got rid of people and then piled the work onto Kdin and other
others.
people.
Yeah, because we have what you'll see in the actual video. This is the pre-video, the actual video that we've talked to people from Rooster Teeth, and I haven't had a single good story from Rooster Teeth.
Since our work is largely project-based, but according to Kdin, you didn't pay them for their project work.
Oh God, they don't like laying people off. Openness and transparency are critical to our. This is so. This is not for Kdin and other employees. This is for Warner Brothers executives when they take a good hard look at Rooster Teeth and are like, do we really need this company? Are they making money or are they a liability? Because we've had nothing but PR black eyes from this company for 2 to 3 years now.
Yeah.
Are they bringing it or not?
Oh, you're just making crap up. That's what we keep getting accused of. No, this is like based on their comments, based on people who work there, based on other news outlets reporting on, stuff that they got in trouble for doing. This isn't because we said so. Contrary to what everybody keeps saying that somehow every time there's bad news, we invented it.
Ruby stands. So yeah, as we mature in our 20th year, we will continue to move forward as a passionate, creative company and community with open hearts and minds. You're done.
Until next week when somebody else comes out and complains, or next month or whatever.
Until next week, until we've got, they had an executive was oh God, I can't even keep track of all the crap that's happened at Rooster Teeth. Underpaying people.
Overworking people.
Breaking labor laws, actually, I believe, and overworking people. We've had sex scandals. We've had their one executive was beating his wife. They pushed out founders from the company. They've had other people leave. And once they left, they're like, it was a sinking ship and I had to go. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know what else. I mean, that's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, Rooster Teeth is...
they like to say their motto is just the tip.
Just the tip. Yeah,
we just show the tip.
Doesn't count as long as it's just the tip. We're fucking you over. No, we didn't fuck you over. It was just the tip. We didn't go any further than that. We're sorry. We're sorry we got caught. Okay, let's get on with the video.
Yes.
Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And it's been a long time since we've talked about Rooster Teeth.
You've mentioned it a couple times recently.
Like, what's up with Rooster Teeth? What are they up to with all the layoffs and all the cutbacks going on at Warner right now? They've been laying low.
They're more of a cockbite now anyway.
They are more of a cockbite. So we're going to talk about the latest Rooster Teeth drama. Former achievement hunter Kdin coming out and saying that working at Rooster Teeth was horrible. And we have done videos before where we had people at different levels of Rooster Teeth coming to us 2-3 years ago, corroborating these stories that, Rooster Teeth is a very shitty place to work. And then we started to see it, leak out into the public, and we had lots of people get gone for various reasons, and projects get canceled, and people having to go on apology tours. And then we had the sexual allegations, which is still our most downvoted video of all time, by the way. When we talked about the achievement hunter guys picking up groupies. But they did.
So I'm like, somehow it was our fault. I love how it's our fault when we report news that we had nothing to do with.
Yeah, I love it. Still our most downvoted video because how dare we spread false rumors
that turned out to be true?
That turned out to be true because we saw the DMs and then it came out, they apologized. I mean, this happens all the time. Mm-hmm. It's like we don't run with something unless we know or think we know that it's on the level, it's
pretty sure.
Legit.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this because this gels with everything we've heard. And I got to give a shout out to Lupus and Lepus who sent a link to this article, which summarizes it very nicely. Now, this was actually a Twitter thread Kdin Jenzen put out. And it's very, very, very long, but we'll give you the bird's eye view, the cock's eye view.
I was like, Oh, I see what you did there.
Cock guy. And anyway, let's talk about this. So before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. 277,000 subs
Woo!
plus. Go out to clownshishtv.com for more pop culture news, video game news. You can go find our old Rooster Teeth videos. We've been covering it for a while. We've been saying Rooster Teeth is going to be in the crosshairs. Now,
Surprised it hasn't been yet.
I think we saw a bunch of cuts under AT&T, and after some of the allegations came out before, they purged a bunch of content from Rooster Teeth. They purged more content when it turned out their on-air personalities were picking up groupies. They got rid of their animation people after it came out that they were basically using underpaid slave labor to get their content done, breaking labor laws. I hope Ruby was worth it to you guys. And we've been saying for a while that at some point in time, Rooster Teeth is going to get gone. Because I don't even know if they have going for them at this point. They have Ruby, which is fading. It's not nearly as popular as it used to be.
Is Grace Randolph still over there?
Grace Randolph, I think so, is a podcast with them or something. I don't know. I don't even know what they are. I don't know what Rooster Teeth is because they keep trying to reinvent themselves. They were going to do children's shows. They were going to do podcasts. It makes no sense for them to be a separate entity. And this is kind of a cautionary tale of what happens when you sell your plucky indie studio to a major corporation. Now, they didn't sell directly to Warner Brothers. What happened was they went in with, I think it was Full Screen, and then Full Screen got bought out by
which can happen, yeah.
Which can happen. You need to be aware of that. You sell your company to somebody, they have the right to sell it to somebody else. You sell your classic car, and this happened to me. You sell car that you worked very, very hard to restore, and you spent all your money and every day in the summer restoring this Camaro, and you sell it to somebody, and you love that car. You love that car, and you sell it to somebody because you were moving and you couldn't afford the gas to drive cross country with it. And then within 2 weeks of them buying the car, they flip it and they total it, and it winds up in the junkyard. But I can't complain.
Right.
Because I got paid. I sold my car. And that's what they did to it.
Your company's a widget at this point.
Your company's a widget. So,
it's an asset.
Boy, I'm still salty about that. I love that.
I can feel the salt right here.
I love that car. Every time I think of that was my Camaro. And
what was it again? What year? It
was an 82. Midnight Blue.
I offered to buy you another one.
It's not the same car. The same car. That car is in the junkyard because the asshole flipped it and... Anyway, that's my problem. Let's go out and talk about Kdin's problems here with Rooster Teeth. Gamer Braves. Not sure who these people are, but anyway, we're going to give them credit. Former achievement hunter Kdin describes working at Rooster Teeth as one of slurs and poor pay. We have heard... Yikes! We have heard this. This is what's so funny and so telling. Usually when a company goes out of its way to broadcast to the world how progressive they are and how enlightened they are and how good they are, they're hiding something. Rooster Teeth has gone out of its way in the last couple of years to be like, look how progressive and woke we are, and look at the allies we are. And then it turns out that they're not treating their employees well. They're basically, they have slave labor going on, making Ruby. They've got their black employees coming out and saying that they were kind of fed to the wolves. Lots of dirty jokes flying around. Lots of their people picking up groupies. It's a mess, right? So Kdin's like, Kdin opened up today about her time at Rooster Teeth, describing the toxic culture of the company in a twit-longer post, which is very long. She describes a terrible working culture and financial exploitation by the company, who allegedly reneged on payment due to her from her time as a contract employee before going full-time. They reneged on payment with a lot of people because, again, they were creating Ruby using a lot of unpaid overtime, which they got in big trouble for. And they actually had the dude in charge of Genlock get gone. From February 2013 until November 2013, I went entirely unpaid for all of my contract work.
Wow.
I was never given the payment promise for anything I did. When I was hired full-time and brought that up, I was told, it's been so long already, it's not really a big deal, is it?
Oh, it's them working for free.
Are you working for free? And then the subject was never brought up again. These payment disputes didn't stop at her contract work either. Further down the post, Kdin describes that voiceover work done on Rooster Teeth shows like Ruby were unpaid despite not being part of her job description. That's bullshit. It's also worth mentioning that for every bit of voiceover I did before I left Rooster Teeth, I wasn't actually paid for any of it, under the idea that I was an employee, so I didn't need to be paid for voiceover work. Now, I'm going to stop right there because that's not entirely true. It depends on your situation, but I've worked at companies before where these were your job duties, and anything that fell outside of your job description would be considered contract work. I used to do web development and social media management for a radio station, and any like side gigs I got that they would outsource to me, I got paid extra. It wasn't part of my 9 to 5.
Yeah, but that was then. Anymore, now they just keep getting rid of people and then saying, guess what? It's your new job description.
It's in your job description now. If you don't like it, go find another job. I don't know. Harassment, slurs, and inaction. We've heard this from multiple people. Again, you got to take their word for it, I guess. She also describes something that's been echoed in the past about the company, a culture that was actively hostile to anyone not within the in-group. For years, she'd been referred to by a nickname, with talents referring to the nickname even during videos. However, she revealed that the nickname was actually a cleaned up version of the slur for queer people, the uncensored version.
Bundle of sticks.
Bundle of sticks. Yes, every day I came into work, I was called
a bundle of sticks.
A bundle of sticks. But they could not use that name in content. Yeah, and they purged a lot of content with a lot less racy stuff. So when anyone was recording, I was called Fugs.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Why would you call somebody Fugs? Unless they...
Then I would just call them Fucker. Thanks, Fucker.
I couldn't say anything about it. I'd reported the use of that nickname for years to HR, and nothing was ever done about it.
How is this not done? This is definitely harassment.
I mean, how hard is it? I mean, I get people joking around. I get that Rooster Teeth historically has been kind of a, frat boy, whatever. I get that. But if somebody comes up to you and says, hey, could you please stop calling me Fugs? For the love of God, just don't call me Fugs, please. I mean, that's like the least you can do to, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be called Fugs. It's not like you're asking for, it's like, please don't call me shitface on camera, please.
They can't call you that on camera. So they call you like something else face. Like
crap hole.
Or like, shiz face. Or,
shiz. Hey, shiz, fetch me some coffee. God, okay. And again, look, if this was 1 or 2 people coming out with complaints like this, I'd be like, it's no. There's a laundry list, and we've actually been in contact with other people who work for this company.
Who report similar things, and people are going to be like, well, you guys are kind of hypocrites because there are other companies where people report it and you kind of blow it off. I'm like, sometimes it's like this is 1 or 2 people, and the rest of the company is kind of like, nah, it's fine, just their experience wasn't good. This whole company is an effing disaster. And if I were David Zaslav, I think the only reason they're getting a pass from David Zaslav is they're so unimportant at this point that the eye of Sauron hasn't turned to them yet.
The eye of Sauron's not looking at these nasty ass hobbits yet, but it will eventually turn its eye on you.
Well, since this thread, 2 of the marquee talent and achievement hunter, Michael Jones and Gavin Free, have issued public apologies.
Gavin has to apologize every other week for shit that's going on with this company. God, I forgot he was even there. Anytime I brought up mistreatment or that making fun of people in content only encourages the community to hate us, I was waved away saying it's just a joke, ignore the comments. This ignore the comments mantra was a way to excuse their own behavior. Anyone who is not important was constantly made fun of.
The comments, though, I gotta tell you, if anybody that was on camera was getting comments like that too, I'm sure.
I think the difference is, if you're on, God knows, we do live streams, we get all kinds of shit.
People make comments like that about, you get comments all the time.
I think the difference is if you're getting it from randos that are watching your videos, that's one thing. If you're getting it from your coworkers.
Right. So the comments has nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? In this instance. But yeah, that's a stupid thing to say.
But this actually kind of echoes what LeVar Burton's daughter was saying too, that, they just kind of were like, suck it up and deal with it, And again, if it's random commenters saying shit, they're going to.
That's different. Yeah, that's going to happen no matter what. But that has nothing to do with people behind the scenes. What's reading the comments have to do with that?
Yeah, but if they're calling you Fugs to your face when you go into work.
They mentioned in And the thing that other people started calling them that too, thinking it was the endearing nicknames of fans who watched the show were calling them that too, not knowing that's what it was short for.
Yeah. So heck with it. Everyone who raised their concerns about Genlock Season 2 and were shocked by its content, Rooster Teeth knew, HBO Max knew, Warner Brothers knew. I met with everyone so many times about how harmful it would be to the queer community. I didn't watch Genlock Season 2, so apparently there's some drama there, but I was told controversy is good. Actually,
well, that I believe. That one I 100% believe.
That actually is true. That is part of the marketing. We've talked about this with like She-Hulk and stuff.
That is the way these young marketing people think, oh, controversy is good. Any publicity is good publicity.
According to Kdin, after unproductive meetings with her manager, she'd even gone up to one of the founding members of Rooster Teeth who told her to quit. I then went to one of the founding fathers of the company to express my concern. Who's left at this point? So it's pretty easy to figure out who's there. I was told that I was too nice to work at Rooster Teeth and that I should just quit and find somewhere else to work. I was horrified. At the moment, I couldn't do anything but feel horrified and powerless. I was an out trans woman in Texas in 2018 and was told to just quit and find work elsewhere in Texas. State that actively finds ways to keep our rights. But then the weird thing is this is about the time that Rooster Teeth went totally woke and they decided that they were going to, virtue signal, probably because they had mounting controversy, internal controversy. And they're like, shit, let's just put on this big show about how progressive we are, guys. And
Devil's advocate for a moment.
Yes.
Devil's advocate.
Be the devil. Be the devil.
I'm going out. I get accused of it all the time. Wait, so I was told to quit. This is a problem. You can't just quit and find work elsewhere in Texas. Then if you thought the people in Texas hated you so much and they were against you and you couldn't find work in Texas, why would you go to Texas to work for this company in the first place? Why would you actively go to a place to work, say you work for Rooster Teeth? If you're complaining about how you were treated all those years, why would you stay at a company? Why would you go there? And to a state hated you. That
actually is a good point because I think
I'm not excusing behavior. I'm just saying.
No.
I'm just like, wait a minute, though.
I mean, this happens a lot. A lot of people, they're I think probably chasing the dream. Like if I go work for Rooster Teeth,
right?
I'm gonna be a big Twitch streamer.
But that was their decision.
That is true.
They can't blame. I can't quit because I'll be in Texas. I'm going to be treated this way in Texas. But you're treated that way in Texas whether you worked at Rooster Teeth or not. So not working for Rooster Teeth isn't an excuse. Like if I leave them, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean there's a whole lot of issues here. Mm-hmm. Now, that being said, it doesn't
minimize what happened.
No, it doesn't excuse your coworkers calling you something to your face that you're not comfortable with, whatever. But again,
I don't care if you're comfortable with it or not. No one should have to be called.
No, don't.
Yeah, that was
it's
just
not
beyond.
a term of endearment or anything. And this does gel with a lot of the other accusations. And again, if Rooster Teeth's brand was what it was when it first started, which was, we knew it was like just a bunch of, shitlords, edgelords, having.
That's what I'm saying. Knowing what it was.
Yeah.
I don't know. I question some things, but anyway.
Some things, but again, it's another controversy for Rooster Teeth.
If you go to their post, they have like a summary at the bottom of it that had it sums it up. Here's like
yes, this is what we need.
Let's do this.
Okay, let's do the bullet point version from Twit Longer. TLDR. February 2013, November 2013, unpaid contract.
Bullshit. You shouldn't have to put up with that.
Yes. Fugs equals F-word bundle of sticks, reported to HR, nothing was done.
Yeah, shouldn't have to deal with that bullshit.
No, if you said, hey, I don't want to be called Fugs, don't call me Fugs. 2013 Christmas bonus of $100. Longtime members disapproved.
They were mad they got a bonus at all. Bullshit.
14-hour work days, rush orders for same or next day videos.
That sadly is the nature of the beast.
I can believe that.
And I don't agree. We all called that out many times.
Anytime I brought up mistreatment or that just making fun of people and content only encourages the community to hate us, I was waved away saying it's just a joke, ignore the comments. Again, my take on that is ignore the comments, but if you're telling your coworkers to their faces that you don't like to be called Fugs.
And they aren't listening to you.
Yeah.
At this point in time, you should have known nothing was going to change.
Rooster Teeth crunch caused pneumonia, no recovery period. Crunched harder, physically isolated. People even in the company forgot I worked. So yeah, it might have been like off in the office or something by themselves. Rooster Teeth never fulfilled their promotion deals. 15-hour work days, that is crunch, 2016 came out as transphobia harassment started. Acting manager lied to the community and harassed me. HR did nothing and enabled harassment. Founding fathers, this is so like the founding fathers. Is that what they call them?
I don't know.
They actually call them the found. That's so pretentious. The founding fathers knew and did nothing. Said too nice to work at Rooster Teeth and just quit and find somewhere else to work. Now, it could have been a much longer conversation where it was like, this is just how we are here, and I'm really sorry you're having this problem, but whatever. Rooster Teeth did not properly support medical insurance coverage. Ended 2020 position producer director, paid $40,000. Next lowest paid person was $70,000. For producer director at $40,000, working 15 hours a day. And
well, to be fair, you kind of agreed to some of this.
Well, okay, so that...
I mean, I'm not victim blaming. I'm just saying that I'm hearing what they're saying, and I agree that some of the stuff I'm like, yeah, that's shit. Completely agree with you. However, other aspects of it, I'm like, but you kind of stayed until you kind of agreed to it and kept taking it. And, it wasn't going to change because you weren't going to, the only way you're going to stop is they obviously wanted you out or something, but you wouldn't leave. So how much of it then becomes your own fault because you knew what you're getting into. You knew when they weren't paying you for your contract work, maybe this isn't a place I want to work full time and all this other stuff, but you still did it. You know what I'm saying? I think there's like a little bit of two sides to this one. I'm not excusing the bad behavior at all. There's no excuse for that shit. But I'm also like, but you kind of knew and you kind of...
Life is like...
box of chocolates.
Let's make a deal. I was thinking, let's make a deal. Sometimes, we all have to pick doors. We all have to pick curtains. Sometimes you get a car. Sometimes you get a goat. Sometimes somebody takes that car.
And hits your goat?
And hits your goat and totals that car.
Oh my God. I didn't know. Are you serious? Okay.
I love that car.
And talk about the car where you're talking about me. In 2019, forced to move to LA or get laid off on salary. That happens to a lot of people. They never paid moving costs. Apparently, I saw in the thing they said they were going to pay them $5,000 to move. Never even paid that.
Wait. $5,000 to move to LA.
And they're getting $40,000 a year to live in LA.
Do you know what the rent in LA?
That was their point.
Yeah, oh my God. You'd be lucky if you could find a decent place for under $4,000 or $5,000. Holy shit.
The crunch increased during COVID.
I can believe that.
Had life-saving surgery. Majority work stolen by coworker. So basically, the work that they did was stolen. The coworker took credit and blamed all the production failures on them during medical leave.
God.
Go ahead.
BRG created to help with representation issues. Mid-2021, Rooster Teeth said we've done enough for the queer community. Pride stream events still mostly cis-het talents. Cis-het. Cis-shay. Mistreatment of minorities in Rooster Teeth ignored. The company is going through a lot right now. Just leave it alone. So, I mean, look, Rooster Teeth has been getting it from all sides lately. And, again, this is one of those things where it's like, we don't know. We weren't there. We have been in contact with people from the company. We haven't had anybody say anything positive about the company. We actually have other people familiar with things going on over there, third parties, who have said, no, it's a freaking dumpster fire. We've seen them boot out longtime members, some of the founding fathers over.
We know crunch is bad.
We know crunch is bad.
People have come to us before about crunch, which I never agree. I think crunch, it's shit, and unfortunately, it's the reality of the industry, though.
But the reality too is that you don't have to. I mean, in some cases, you're kind of forced to work someplace because you have to make ends meet. But I'm like, if you're only making $40,000 working 15-hour days, like you could go get a job at Lowe's and make more money.
Well, they couldn't quit because they were in Texas, but they moved to LA. So what was their excuse when they moved to LA? They moved to LA in 2019. And they didn't pay you to move. That should have been your first indication that maybe I need to go find something else. Yeah,
I think what happens, and I have learned this the hard way, and this isn't, I'm not trying to talk down to people, and I understand people are in situations where sometimes they cannot leave their job, okay? I have been in situations where it's very obvious that the company is not going to change and I need to change my situation. In fact, the one newspaper I worked for when I was younger, it was that exact, I ran into pretty much this exact same scenario, except for being called Fugs. But you remember, when we first got married, I was working 16, 18-hour days sometimes. I was not getting the salary increase I was promised. They gave me certain benchmarks to hit, like if you do XYZ thing, you're going to get paid, this much money, and then they would backpedal on those promises. And I saw that they were kind of letting this other person take credit for my work, even though I was supposed to be the boss. And the whole thing stunk to high heaven. But rather than stay, I'm like, it's not going to change. I'm leaving because if I stay, I'm just going to continue to get fugsed over, And I'm like, 10 years. You were there, you saw 4 or 5 years ago there were problems, And this is where I'm torn because I think Rooster Teeth is legitimately doing some shitty stuff, but also we each have
there's some responsibility there on
right. We can
on you too.
Leave, and I would have left if I thought I was being treated that badly.
Especially when they started calling you names and the HR wouldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, I would have been like, fuck you. I'm out of here.
I would have been like, hell no.
And yeah, you can find, I understand, maybe you're going to have some problems in Texas or whatever, but
you could move to LA.
You can move to, you're in LA. Move to LA.
But I'm saying you could do that.
Yeah. So I don't know what to say. Anyway, just going to say this is yet another controversy, massive black eye for Rooster Teeth. It's going to get to a place where just to save face, they're going to have to cut this company loose. They've been trying to, the word on the street is they've been looking for somebody to buy it, but what do they have?
They're trying to unload it for a while, yeah.
What do they have? They have Ruby. Whoa, big whoop. They're already rebooting Ruby with the Japanese animation studio and doing a better job with it than having them work on it here in the US. And they're probably paying less too, unfortunately. But I think they're just going to look at it as we'll keep the Ruby IP and maybe just shut the rest of it down, because what is it? What do they own? They really don't own much. It doesn't. It's more of a liability at this point, and we know Zaslav isn't above cutting underperformers, and I just think Rooster Teeth is not a priority yet. But just wait. We're gonna wrap it up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.